Hi, and welcome to the Yarn Have a Geek podcast. My name is Laura. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Ravelry as Yarn Have a Geek. There's also a Ravelry group where you can find all the show notes for the podcast. And let's get started with this week's episode, shall we? Alright, let's get started with Whips of the Week. And I just realized I have a total of 9 whips I worked on, and a small portion of it is getting back to commission work, so stuff I'm being paid to work on, but it's mainly been socks for the week. I just couldn't work on anything else but socks. But now also those commissions are coming. I'm slowly getting back to working on the commissions, but let's talk about this week's whips. The first one are, I got more work done on my second Griffin sock, which are known as Dragon's Egg socks on Ravelry. But I got the ribbing done and the Griffin chart done. For the sock, I gotta work on the next section of ribbing. But before I do that, I actually have, because I finally picked up a really nice electronic row counter from Michaels, which is a Susan Bates one. Like, it's actually, I will probably show it next week's episode. But even though I bought it with a few other stuff, but I'm going to show it in next week's episode because it is right now on the other side of the camera. But there is a picture of it on my Facebook if you want to know what it looks like. So that is it for the Griffin socks. Next up, okay, so it's the umbrage socks I'm working on, but unfortunately when I decided to test try it on, since I do that to make sure it's a nice fit. Unfortunately, it was just a little too snug for my foot, so I started over again, this time in the biggest size for the pattern here, and so I'm back to the start of my first umbrage sock again. And unfortunately, this is try number 3, because I had gotten 15 rows of this ribbing done, and then I decided to try and undo it unkink method for this cable. Well, and I did, and I did, and now it's back to being kinked up. But I'll probably unkink it, once I'm done this first sock. But while I was unkinking it, one of the needles kind of came out, and I said, fudge it. I'm going to restart it all over again. So I'm back to work. I'm back to my beginning. So hopefully I can get the ribbing done on this for next week, and possibly the heel flap as well. But I'm so glad I'm doing the bigger size now, because now I can work the full chart and not stop it midway through a few stitches before the end of the chart, because the chart is a little weird. Like, I'm not going to show the chart pattern because it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry, so but the chart for the lace work for the umbrage socks is a little weird, but you know what, I'm going to get through it. And now let's get on to the next whip of the week, which is actually something I started on Friday of last week, And I mentioned I would be starting these. I think in the last episode, because I showed the yarn I was going to use for these in the stash editions from last week, but started a new pair of socks, of course, because I gotta be themed because it's now fall, and right now it's a little chilly out today, but I really want to finish these before Halloween, obviously, because I'm using the pattern. Nah, oh god, I can't remember the name of the pattern, but it was the basically the pumpkin spice socks pattern from well, actually, I do have the book beside me, so it's in this book, but you can also get the pattern on Ravelry. But I am actually calling these my chocolate pumpkin socks because as I mentioned, the names of the yarns that I'm making these out of is chocolate and pumpkin spice. So they're my chocolate pumpkin socks. So yay. And I have at least finished. Well, actually, I only finished one full complete pattern, and I'm halfway through the next for the chart, but I got the little pumpkin cable going, so that is just adorably cute. So hopefully I can have more done on that for next week as well. And next up, I didn't get much work done on this sock. Like, I got maybe two rounds done, but it needs some more love. So it's my Beaubaton socks, so a little close up on that. So this is going to be getting some more love and work put on into it for the next episode. So there's not much for that one. Alright, and that is actually it for socks I worked on. Next up is the stuff I am being commissioned to work on. Well, one's not exactly a commission because it's part of a set I'm making that I started last year and I'm hoping to finish before Halloween this year, which is my Hocus Pocus set. Billy Butcherson's not exactly part of it. That one was Billy Butcherson was a bonus one I made that I gave to Doug Jones, who portrays Billy Butcherson in Hocus Pocus and also Ape Sapien in the Hellboy movies. Although not this new one coming up, obviously. But if you remember, I finished Mary and Winifred like last year. Yeah, I finished Mary some months back, actually, along with Winifred, and I am still working on Sarah. So I'm hoping to have her finished by Halloween, which is next month. Like, all I have left is to gotta finish her face, get the hair done, little accessories, and her skirt, which is what I'm currently working on. Now, it's not much because I decided to work on some other amigurumi parts, but it's not much, but I'm going to get more to hopefully done for next week, and well, the parts I got done this week for amigurumis is I finally attached the heads to their torsos at long last. So this is I'm just redoing these again, and because I've done them before, and I'm doing them again as an awesome favor. I got the arms for both the Cyclopses done, but I still gotta work on the arms for Harry. So I gotta work on that one, and that is it for amigurumis. And next up is what I work on my Tuesdays, which are basically sweaters or any tops that are knitted. And first up is something I haven't worked on in a bit, which is the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children top that Cloud wears. I have an inch finish. I have an inch finish. And I have a whole bunch to go still. So, my goal is at least one for 1 week. For each week, I get to do, hopefully do 1 inch, which is, for my gauge, it's 12 rows. Makes an inch for me. But it's like over 500 stitches. So once I get the main chunk of the body done, I can actually start working on the armhole sleeves and all that jazz. And that's it for that. And here's the last one. I haven't worked on this in a while. I've decided to get back to it because I've said I wanted to finish this in time for our fan expo, but I couldn't. Let's face it, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and the fact that this is my own pattern that I'm also charting as well. But it is my Red Hood, the Red Hood sweater that I am making for someone. So I got the first round of targets done. I'm now on the second round. Hopefully I can get the second round halfway done for next week. But that is just a hopeful. Hopefully I can get halfway through the second pattern repeat of the targets. Because there's like 4 rows of targets I'm gotta work on before I start the main pattern, which is going to be the red hood symbol with, like, I know in a previous episode I showed the picture that the sweater is based off of. I don't know who the artist is. If I can find the name of the artist, I will gladly credit them. But it's basically, the picture is the 4 male robins, because apparently they don't want to include the lady robins. One of which turned into a Batgirl, obviously. But it's got Nightwing, Damian Wayne, Robin. That's what I'm going to call him. The Damian Wayne Robin, because his name is Damian Wayne. Red Robin and Red Hood. Good in the picture. So I'm right now working on a Red Hood sweater. Or that is a commission. I'm hopefully, once that's done, I can do another version that I'm going to be gifting. Well, another size that I'll be gifting. It's going to be changed a little bit, but that's all good. And also, I had worked on a smaller version of the Nightwing sweater from that image, but I didn't complete it because I didn't finish the sleeves. But I'm eventually going to work on the bigger size of that one, and hopefully I can start charting for a Red Robin and the Damian Wayne Robin sweater. For some strange reason, I was going to call Damian Wayne Damian Drake. I don't know why. But that is it for Whips of the Week. Next up, finished objects. Alright, finished object time. And I only have one finished object. And this was something I said I would finish last week, in last week's episode, and I did, so yay for that. And if you've been following my Facebook and Instagram, and weirdly, I actually am finally using the projects page on my own personal Ravelry to keep track of everything now. And I finished my Bombshell Batwoman socks. That is going to be for obviously my Bombshell Batwoman in cosplay, and it'll be going along with my Bombshell Batwoman bat that I made. So I wish I could have done this up to the, almost close to my knee, but unfortunately I have some very, very thick, muscly calves, so I need to find a pattern that'll help me, or some type of tutorial that can help with knitting for thick, muscly calves, because let's face it, I have actually wrecked a few of my Wonder Woman boots that go up to the knee because of my muscly calves. That I've had to duct tape them to keep them closed. But these are perfect for now, and plus, I'm glad I didn't go for the knee high, because I almost ran out of yarn on the second sock, so yay. And these are going to be perfect because they're for I'm going to be wearing them next month with my Bombshell Batwoman outfit for London Comic Con for one day, so yay. So these are fish, and that is actually it for finished objects. Next up, I'm going to be talking about some events I'll be attending both this month and next month. Alright, so this is basically, it's kind of a new segment, kind of not, because I do talk about what cons I'm going to previously. I just never added them to an official section because it all gets mashed up and other stuff. But I have a couple of events I am attending, both in the near future, which is this weekend, near future, and also next month as well. So actually, this weekend, in one day, I have 2 events I'm going to. I actually technically still need to buy the ticket for one of the events for this weekend. But the first one, which I already bought a ticket for, is the IMATS, which I've kind of been wanting to do for a while. All because I do some special effects makeup on myself for some of my cosplays, more specifically when I do my Black Cat symbiote, in which I have these teeth. And you basically, if you want, you can see pictures of these cosplays on my cosplay Facebook page. But also, there's a video of me talking about the symbiote teeth while wearing them on my other YouTube channel, which I think I've posted a link in a previous video. I cannot remember. I'll be posting a link to it in the information bar or below on this podcast video, but not in the show notes. But yeah, basically, IMATS is basically almost like a makeup convention, but it's more professional. I don't know, this is my first time attending, so yay! Although there is another con in London this weekend just for that one day that I am also attending. It's the same day I'm attending IMATS. And last night, the con added a guest that I know that I wanted to see again, but unfortunately, I do not have the travel funds to go to London and come back. But mind you, I already bought my IMATS tickets and it's not refundable. So, and besides, I want to cross IMATS off of my convention bucket list. So I'm going to be attending IMATS this Saturday, in downtown Toronto. And weirdly, on my way back home, I get to stop off at the other event, which I still need to buy the ticket for, which is the Hobbit Day event, which is weirdly not that far from where I live and where I'm filming right now. So basically, I can go to that one after the IMAX is done. And it's actually hosted by Cos Party Toronto. Now, I'm not really a big Hobbit, Lord of the Rings fan. I have made a pair of Hobbit slipper socks. And also the pattern called the Light of Arendelle Shrug, which I still need to post a picture of on my Ravelry page that I did a project page on it. But, yeah, I'm going to be stopping by there just because, let's face it, when you offer food with the purchase of your ticket, and it's like, yes, I will do that. And also, it's on the way home. So, basically, that I'll be going through that. And the next event after those two in one day that I'm going to is, it's going to be the Tri-City SuperCon that's in Kitchener, Ontario. Oh, and, well, I'm only going to that one for one day because it's all the way on Kitchener, and I don't exactly have a place to stay in Kitchener. Like, the first time I went to a con in Kitchener just to do it for one day, which was the Friday. And then I somehow ended up the entire weekend. I don't regret it. It was awesome. And basically I'm only doing the Friday because it's a little easier to get to and from Kitchener by GO train on the Friday, because the GO train to Kitchener does not run on Saturday and Sunday, which is weird. But I'm gonna be going just for Friday because Tri-City SuperCon, an ad for Tri-City SuperCon decided to pop up on my Facebook, and it had two guests that I have been wanting to meet. One is from Murdoch Mysteries. He plays Detective Brackenreed, his name is Thomas Craig. And the other one is Jay Baruchel. If memory serves me, he was in The Sorcerer's Apprentice, the live-action version by Disney. And he's also in, I believe, How to Train Your Dragon? Yeah, he was in How to Train Your Dragon. He plays Hiccup. But those are two guests I've been wanting to meet. So basically, if I'm doing just my one rule of thumb for when it comes to certain cons outside of Toronto is basically mainly they have to have at least one guest I want to see. If there's two guests, I was like, bonus. But I normally am there just to say hi. And obviously some friends I know are going to be there, so I'm going to say hi to them. And so I'm there just for one day. I do have a cosplay I want to wear that I can actually get. Basically, it looks so normal that I can get away with going back and forth, but I am bringing a change of clothes because weirdly, it's the same cosplay I wore when I went for the one day of a con in Kitchener and ended up for the full weekend. So I will be bringing a change of clothes so that way I can feel a little more comfortable afterwards. Because I'm also wearing a corset underneath. So, and that is actually the first weekend of October. And then last weekend of October, I will actually be at London Comic Con, which I still need to buy my pass for, and I'm actually going to be buying my train ticket soon to so I can get there and back. I am staying for the full weekend, and like I do whenever, well, mainly what I do is for the London cons is I go in the day before, I leave the day after, which is great, and I also have a place to stay thanks to a very awesome friend. But basically they have one guest I want to see, and also plus I don't go to London that much anymore. I used to, like, I was there, but basically this is going to be, it's both a con for me, but I'm also going all away from home, so I get to have a little break from home. And get some traveling by myself done. So, yay! And actually, and that is all that's coming up, except one more thing, which I'll be talking about closer to when it comes, which is going to be on Halloween. So I'm probably going to talk about it on the Halloween episode of the podcast. So that is it for now. I will see you all next week. Till then, stay crafty, my friends.